Hi lovelies and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. Those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. So guys, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where those Indian American man decided to come for black people. And this actually got a lot of people reacting to it. And Oreo Pick Me Black Man decided to also come for his own. I'm just going to roll his clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
So you were studying statistics at the University of Chicago, and you say to yourself, I don't stand a chance with my 3.1. What did you do?
Well, I shaved my head, I trimmed my eyelashes, and I decided to join the Organization of Black Students so I could apply to medical school as a black man. I also used my middle name, JoJo. I subsequently interviewed at medical schools across the country and managed to get waitlisted at Washington University and the University of Pennsylvania and got into St. Louis University School of Medicine, despite the fact that my pretty pitiful 3.1 GPA was dramatically lower than their average.
He was like, this 3.1 GPA is not going to cut it for my race. But if I act like a different race, I can have a lower GPA and still get in. Again, this is quite literally them lowering the standard for black people. And what that does is it puts into question if that black person is actually qualified.
Hey, Jeff. It's me again. A lot of you already know what the fuck's about to happen. I went live yesterday and I determined all bets are off for anybody who I previously decided I wouldn't make a video about, because it seems to me you guys are still doing the same shit every time I leave and come back. You would think that being publicly embarrassed as many times as Jeff has would get him to shift his tone, or at least, research anything slightly before he talks about it, but I guess the dollars are not paying him to do that. So let me keep this short, sweet, and to the point. This guy said he faked being black to get into medical school, and then went on a media tour about it and released a book. The premise being that he couldn't get in with his scores as an Indian, so he faked being a black person, which means they're lowering the standards, according to Jeff. Except for the fact there's no point of reference for this dude's claim, considering he never applied to any of those medical schools as an Indian student in order to compare what would have happened. He talked to CNN and told them he applied at 22 medical schools, interviewed at 11, was waitlisted at 4, and only got into 1. Some great fucking black privilege. A spokesperson for St. Louis University, the school he got into, said that his MCAT scores and his science GPA met SLU's criteria in 1999. Mind you, this article was written in 2015, and Jeff Mead is trying to use this as a point in 2024. This is what? Approaching 30 years of bullshit in one video. Oh, but it gets worse. Chokol, the person who pretended he was black and then wrote a book about it, also said that he was harassed by police, store clerks accused him of shoplifting, and women were either scared of him or couldn't keep their hands off of him. It would be ashamed if a black person who's made an entire career talking about how these phenomena don't really exist or affect black people as much anymore pulled from a story in which someone who wasn't black pretended to be black and then immediately started experiencing the same things that this creator says doesn't really happen. Oh, but it once again gets worse, considering that Chokol then went on to attend UCLA when he identified as an Indian American for business school. Jeff, do you understand what you just did? Like, do I need to hold your hand and walk you through it? I'm not even going to explain to you the critiques about affirmative action and everything. Why is it that you keep making videos that are so easy to pull apart? Jeff, how come you haven't been able to pull apart any video that I've made about you? How come all of your responses have been pathetic and easily debunkable? And how come all of your main content is pathetic and easily debunkable? Jeff, why don't you care? Why don't you take this seriously? If you took it seriously, I think you'd look up anything before speaking. But it's been, what, 2 years since you've gotten on this app and you've yet to do that one time. Jeff, do us a favor. Open up Google, right? Type in study about systemic racism and read it, and then try to offer any coherent critiques of that paper, okay? And why you don't believe it. Please do that, and then you can continue talking. Like, I don't fucking know what to tell you at this point.
Okay, next question is going to be a fun one. Can black people be racist?
Racism is prejudice plus power. So I have the ability to be prejudiced. I have the ability to be biased, and I think people need to learn the definition between these things.
Saying something this ignorant while talking about people needing to learn definitions is crazy work. It's wild. Let's look up the definition of racism, shall we? Racism, prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. It says nothing about skin color. It also does not say minorities cannot be racist. Typically does not mean exclusively. Black people can be racist. This woman is up here just talking nonsense. Racism does not require a power structure. Anybody, anywhere can be racist. But y'all need to give this up, dear Lord. Black people cannot be racist. Prejudice? Yes. This whole thing is wrong. Well, not the whole thing. Black people can be prejudiced as well, but they can also be racist. Y'all need to let this talking point go. Here, I'm just gonna Google the definition of racism so we can break this down together. Racism, prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. So by the definition, any race of people can be racist. It does not say excluding this group of people. Now, some of you are gonna try to say, well, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. Yes, typically. Typically does not mean exclusively. Typically just means in most cases. Yes, black people 100% can be racist. And there are racist people that have my skin color in this country. Oh, and if you're wondering the definition of prejudice, it's just preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. So yes, any group of people in the United States can be racist or prejudiced.
Like, seriously, Lovelies, how can someone in his or her rightful sense actually come for, your own, that you know fully well that these people are the people that are in the receiving end? They are the ones that is being oppressed. They are the ones that's been done every other thing. So this Indian American man, gave, a story of how he actually have to identify himself as a black person in order to get admitted into a medical school. By, he got like 3 point something, so he decided that, okay, the wherever was actually low, so because of it, let me change my race to that of a black person by shaving up his hair, and cutting off his beards and all of that. Then he applied to 5 schools and ended up getting admitted to one of those schools. Meanwhile, he actually qualified to get those admission, like to get the admission into the one school. But this young man who called himself, Jeff, decided to stitch it and tell us how, low profile black people are, how black people are low in IQ and all of that. Then forgetting what really happened during affirmative action, where a lot of people, especially Asian American people, actually thought that black people are benefiting of affirmative action because it gave room for black people to get admitted into Ivy school. So without affirmative action, because of the way black people, they are low IQ and not intelligent and all of that, they could have gotten admitted into this Ivy school, but because of affirmative action, they are getting the privilege to get admitted into Ivy school. And when all said was done, everyone realized that black people are not actually the ones benefiting off from affirmative action. It is actually white people. So because of all the, let's strike down affirmative actions and all of that, thinking that affect, or they're going to affect black people, or because they feel that these people are not intelligent, but because of the affirmative action, they are taking the slots that is meant for the intelligent world, without them knowing that this is not even the problem. So with all of those things in affirmative action, this Jeffrey of a guy, this pygmy of a guy, also want to come for black people, calling them, lowering standard and all of that. Like, this is just hilarious. I don't know why a lot of people think that black people can be Ray and cis. How can you be Ray and cis when the society does not even favor you? When you are not the one that invented it? The only people that can be Ray and cis is pan-colored. The society favors them. They are the one that created it. So what is it even talking about? Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section? And another thing is that this Indian American man was even talking about how he was treated like a black person. He was discriminated against. He was, arrested for shoplifting. He was like, and this guy, oh my goodness. Anyway, lovelies, leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.